question about the pace of our national progress. He would often wonder why nations like South Korea, Singapore, or Malaysia, which were once at par with Kenya just a few decades ago, had leapt forward to first world status while we still grapple with the basics. In those moments of honesty and deep introspection, we came to a shared conclusion that the true driver of national development is leadership. And I repeat, is leadership. Not leadership focused on the next election, but leadership that aspires to impact the next generation. Leadership that dares to dream beyond its time and even its capacity. Leadership that is bold, visionary, and relentless in pursuit of the common good of our nation. And we agreed that if Kenya is to attain first world status within our lifetime, as it must, we should set for ourselves daring, audacious goals and pursue them with unwavering focus. It is in this very conviction, ladies and gentlemen, that has guided my engagements with leaders and stakeholders from across the political divide. I have consulted with my former boss, the fourth President of Kenya, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta. I have held discussions with majority of members of parliament, and they are here. I have consulted with many governors and grassroots leaders from every corner of the nation. And I will continue to engage because Kenya's progress must never be a partisan pursuit. It is a national inclusive mission. Through these deliberations, I have arrived at a clear conclusion that although we have made commendable progress in stabilizing the nation over the last 3 years, the time has come to take the country to the next level. And to do so, we must act decisively on at least 3 national priorities. Our first priority is food security. We cannot speak of prosperity while spending over 500 billion shillings every year importing food into Kenya, including maize, importing wheat, rice, sugar, edible oil, among many. This is not just an economic burden to us. It is a threat to our sovereignty. A nation that cannot feed itself, ladies and gentlemen, is not a nation that can claim to be free or sovereign. The only viable path available for us towards this goal now, fellow citizens, is through the expansion of irrigation and the modernization of our agriculture. Rain-fed farming can no longer sustain our growing population or our aspirations. That is why we have now set an ambitious target to build at least 50 mega dams across Kenya and to bring at least 2 million acres under irrigation. Let me emphasize that this is not a far-fetched dream. It is a necessity that must be realized within the next decade. We must become not only a food-secure nation, but also a major exporter of farm produce in the coming years. We have many markets that we have negotiated. We have the American markets under ACOA. We have the Chinese market that is now open for us. We have the European market that we have negotiated under the Economic Partnership Agreement. We have the Africa Continental Free Trade Area market of 1.4 billion that we can export to. Our second priority is enhanced value addition, agro-processing, and manufacturing through industrialization. To transform Kenya into a prosperous, job-creating, wealthy nation, we must become a country that makes things, not merely buys or imports them. A country that exports finished products, not raw materials. A country where industries absorb labor, spur innovation, and expand wealth across every region. We are already laying the foundation for this transformation. Through the Africa Growth and Industrialization Initiative, and in partnership with the Afri-Exim Bank, we are establishing special economic zones in different parts of Kenya, in Rea Vipingo, in Dongo Kundu, in Naivasha, in Sagana, in Thika, in Nakuru, in Eldoret, in Busia, in Kisumu, and many other special economic zone areas that we are finding land. These zones will host textile, agro-processing, assembly, and light manufacturing industries, creating tens of thousands of jobs. At the county level, as was mentioned by the governor of Kitui here, we are rolling out county aggregation and industrial parks in all 47 counties. These parks will link farmers to processors, entrepreneurs to markets, and small entrepreneurs to national and regional value chains. We are unwavering in our vision that everything Kenya produces must be processed in Kenya. Tea must leave Kenya not as raw leaves, but as packaged, excellent tea. Coffee, not as cherries, but as a premium blend for international markets. Cotton, not as lint, but as fabric and fashion. Hides, not as raw skin, but as leather shoes and bags branded, made in Kenya. But we cannot industrialize, ladies and gentlemen, without reliable, affordable, and sustainable energy. That is why we have set our sights on expanding Kenya's energy generation capacity from the current 2,300 megawatts to at least 10,000 megawatts within the next decade. As a former Minister for Energy, Raila Odinga was a strong advocate for the rapid expansion of our energy capacity through multiple sources, including hydro, geothermal, solar, wind, and also energy. Just for the record, already a lot of research is going on the development of the first nuclear energy plant in Kenya, in Siaya County. With abundant energy, we shall power factories, light every home, and drive Kenya to become the industrial hub of East Africa and the continent. Our third critical area of focus is infrastructure development. Again, Baba, who also served as a Minister for Roads and Public Works and Housing under the late President Kibaki, often reminded me that no economy can flourish without world-class infrastructure. It is in this context that we have committed to dual at least 1,000 kilometers of major highways, including the Rironi, Nakuru, Mau Summit, Eldoret, Malaba Road, Makutano, Embu, Meru Road, Kitengela, Namanga Road, Mombasa, Nairobi Highway, and Maroa, Nanyuki, Isiolo roads, among others, and construct an additional 10,000 kilometers of new tarmac roads linking counties, linking farmers, traders, and manufacturers to markets across the nation, and complete the standard gauge railway from Naivasha to Kisumu and onward to Malaba, seamlessly connecting Kenya to Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and DRC, the very heart of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area dream. Fellow citizens, to some, these projects may seem too ambitious perhaps even out of reach. But this is precisely where bold, visionary, and heroic leadership comes into play, the kind that Raila Odinga embodied. It is the reason that on this Mashujaa Day, in recognition of his extraordinary contribution and enduring legacy, the government and the people of Kenya inscribe Raila Odinga's name among the foremost of our heroes under the public seal of the Republic of Kenya. On behalf of a grateful nation and through the authority vested in me as president, I have today posthumously conferred upon the Right Honorable Raila Odinga the highest honor of the Republic, the Chief of the Order of the Golden Heart of Kenya. Fellow citizens, I recall that when I spoke during Raila Odinga's state funeral, I wondered, where will another Raila come from? The truth is, there will forever be only one Raila Amolo Odinga, a single spirit, a towering patriot, and a hero for ages. But if we, the people he so deeply loved and served, choose to live by the lessons he's taught us, to love Kenya more than we love ourselves, to put unity above division, to aspire for greater, and to serve with courage and conviction, then we can become a great nation of 50 million heroes. And in doing so, Kenya will rise from the heights once thought unimaginable within our generation. That, fellow patriots, is our noble challenge on this Mashujaa Day. Kabla sijamaliza hotuba yangu, ndugu wananchi wa Kitui na Kenya, kwanza mimi nataka niwashukuru sana wananchi wa Kitui kwa sababu mmekuja kwa wingi sana. Tuko na halaiki ya watu wengi sana hapa Kitui leo, na mmekuja hapa kuunganisha na kuungana na ndugu zenu wananchi wa taifa letu la Kenya. Leo Kenya mzima inajulikana, sherehe ya Mashujaa inafanyika katika mji wa Kitui. Wana Kitui, watu wa Kitui, asanteni sana kwa kuwa wenyeji na kwa kutusaidia in hosting this great day as we celebrate Kenyan heroes. Kutoka kwangu na serikali nzima la taifa la Kenya, nawaambia watu wa Kitui, asanteni sana. Nyinyi pia kwa kufanya tendo hili la kuunganisha Kenya, nyinyi pia watu wa Kitui na wapigia salute kama mashujaa wa taifa letu la Kenya.